and they called us out, right? They said if you tired, if you want to make a difference, if you want to be a mentor, X, Y, and Z, you have something to bring to the table. Come suited and booted. Meet at such and such and such and such, and that's what we did. So we met up. At first, it was maybe like 75 to 80 men that met up, suited and booted. I mean, dressed to the nine. And then we had high schools and middle schools reaching out to us. So we went to a few high schools, we went to middle schools, community centers, churches, and things of that nature as well. Um, and presented the same thing. We all signed up. We all took on mentors, mentees. Um, our initial meeting with our mentees, we had about 35 kids that went to Easton. They were, various students, athletes, former students. Um, they had network opportunities for entrepreneurs. Uh, some got jobs, were hooked up with jobs. We bought suits, we bought sports jackets, and it was just all out of love for the youth. You know what I mean? So we want them to be a success. So we made them dress for success.
That right there is beautiful because it's great to see male role models. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And what a grown man is supposed to look like, what a grown man is supposed to dress like, which is foreign to a lot of these youth. Hey, K, you had a question for Brother Waiters?
Yeah, Brother Waiters, how you be, man?
Man, I'm great. How about yourself?
Absolutely, I can't complain, man. I remember back in the days, the late 70s, going in the early 80s, where they had the program, the Scared Straight program.
Yes.
Now, comparing that then to what y'all are working on now, do you see that program had a major effect during that timeline as to opposed to, or would you say that some of that should be brought back to today's try to understanding with the youth in that manner, or the
I
young black
absolutely
men?
No, I absolutely do. That Scared Straight program, I myself went into the Scared Straight program when I was younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it made me realize, like, hey, man, I don't ever want to spend no time in jail. You know what I'm saying? Life's all different, but hey, you live and you learn.
Right.
In the 70s, 80s, early 80s, late 90s, going into the 2000s, it was all correctional. So it will be the Scared Straight program was definitely needed, right? Now we have more mental health and behavioral issues,
Right.
not so more of the uh, I'm a rob, I'm a kill, drug deal, drug sale, whatever the case may be. However, for those youth that want to be um, bigger than what they are or try to make a name for themselves, to have them come into an institution where um, there is no come and go as I please. You have somebody on your shoulder, on your back, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days. You can't eat what you want to eat. You have to eat what's provided. You have to go to school. You have to do this program. That's not the real world for some of these kids. But when they get locked up, that becomes your reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer mommy and daddy or grandma. It's Mr. Such and Such, Mrs. Such and Such. Can I? May I? Being told when to sit down. Being told how to when they can use the bathroom, when they can take a shower. For some people, for some kids, they will not be able to make it. So that Scared Straight program, off the initial uh, time they get incarcerated
Yeah.
or locked up, I think it'll be beneficial for them. Some kids just take stuff as a joke, take life as a joke when life
Right.
is serious, man.
When you say about the mental issues, more so mental, are you dealing with? Would you say it was crystal meth was real popular, very
Mm-hmm.
popular, and it messed up a lot of minds? Would you say that y'all deal with a lot of addiction problems for the mental issue?
Right. So with majority of the youth that we service now, it's more so weed. It's more so what they call lean. Um, they call it popping Percocets. They call it triple C's. Um, and a lot of it, they get it off of what they see on TV, what they see um, their older brother or older sister doing, um, smoking loud packs or smoking K2. I know a couple of years ago, K2 was the big thing.
Yeah.
Man, you don't know what people putting in this weed right now. They can put rat poison in there, but these kids don't care. They just want to get zooted. A lot of them, believe it or not, utilize heroin. They playing right now with that fentanyl, but that fentanyl is not a game, right? But they don't know what they're getting themselves into. They just want to smoke. They just want to pop pills. They just want to pop Percocets. They want to pop Molly's. So once they do all those drugs and combine those drugs, man, it alters their mindset, and that's the scary part.
Yeah.
Now, Brother Waiters, like dealing with the capacity that we deal with, you realize that a lot of the youth, once they get taken away from the in crowd that they hang out with on the streets, that they're just really wanting to be kids, have the opportunity to be kids, and just want to play and do normal child things. So when you see the youth in the community after they come home, how are they receptive to you?
For me, I think it's a little different, right? Because I'm one administrator. I get involved with my youth, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't when they come in, I don't ask them their charges unless they're willing to disclose it. I don't look at their file because I don't want to prejudge them, right? I get to
Right,
know them for who they are. I build my own relationship with them. Like if
right,
they crying, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go and see why they crying. If they acting up or if they upset about something, I'm not walking away from them. I'm going to them like, man, look, if you need a hug, come in. I'll give you a hug. I greet each and every one of them every single day. Don't miss a
mm-hmm,
day
right,
because that's what they expect. If that's how I started, that's how I'm going to finish. When
mm-hmm,
they leave, I'm there for them when they leave. I give you
mm-hmm,
my business card. Call me. If you need a job, call me. If you need support, call me. And I answer
mm-hmm,
the phone. I'll come to you. You don't have to look at me. I'll come to you.
mm-hmm,
So, I take an investment in those who want to be invested in.
mm-hmm.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah. And I know that when I see like when the youth see you, they holler your name all through the facility. As soon as you touch the ground, they can definitely feel the love and they looking for the response from Brother Waiters
Right.
on a consistent basis because like sometimes you have to just walk away. You know what I mean? I notice you have to just walk away because of that. Um, but also too, how much of influence on the youth is the music and their family.
Oh, music is a part of their life, man. They
Hmm.
they live they live and breathe through music. So,
Right.
in our area, so to speak, the Washington D.C. or DMV area, it used to be go-go back in the day. It used to be
Uh,
go-go. Now it's drill music or they have little artists from their neighborhoods or surrounding neighborhoods that they invest in, and
mhm,
so a lot of that is rap, and they believe that whatever is in that rap song is how they should live their life. If they
mhm.
need to carry the Draco, they gonna carry the Draco when a lot of them don't even know what a Draco is,
Right.
or how much kick a Draco has. And they like shoot up, kill, murder, murder. When in all reality, if that does happen, they wouldn't know how to get themselves out of it. And that's the
Right.
sad part. You know, it's easy. It's something different when those demons from the person that you killed are haunting you at nighttime and they on your back. They don't
Hmm.
understand that plays a part on your psyche. When you can't sleep, when you upset and you realize you don't know where it's coming from, you get depressed and you don't know where it's coming from, and you had that person or that individual in your room looking at you while you sleep and you hallucinating. You think you hallucinating. Nah, that's that spirit coming back to get you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that is real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Also, too, with like you said, touching on the murder, death, not really having any conflict resolution skills. Um, how is it with the grief counseling? Because a lot of times we lose residents, saying, to the streets, and then they lose their friends while they're incarcerated, and they go through different changes, and we have to console them in that moment in
Right,
time. Um,
right.
how has it been, like, grouping them with the grief counseling and conflict resolution?
So with conflict resolution, you going to you have to meet them where they are, right? A
Right.
lot of them, don't know how to deal or interpret what conflict is, or even how to resolve it.
Hmm.
How to resolve it for some of them is, I'm going to fight it out. This person said X, Y, and Z about me. I'm going to shoot somebody. That's not resolving the conflict. That's adding more to it, right?
Hmm.
So we do have, at the facility, we do have restorative justice, which is a mediation and a restorative process that each individual who's been involved in altercations they deal with. 99.9% of our staff trained in restorative justice.
Yeah.
A lot of it is common sense, but common isn't sense isn't so common for some people, if that makes sense,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Um, as far as grief counseling, we do have a behavioral health staff that does deal with grief. We try to uh, isolate the youth to let them know information that's you know detrimental at the time. We try to incorporate the family when we're doing it. Sometimes, if the kid just needs a hug, we there. Give the youth the opportunity to talk when they ready to talk,
Hmm.
because sometimes they don't know how to deal with grief, right? Some people deal with grief and get depressed. Some people deal with grief and get angry, right? So you have to gauge that youth, which means you have to get to know that youth and see where they are,
Hmm.
see how they can see what spectrum you need to go about doing. Do you need to leave this kid alone by themselves? Do you need to bring in somebody that the kid is familiar with or has a dominant relationship with? Sometimes we talk ourselves into the kid hurting themselves when all we need to do is just be quiet and listen. You got to
Right.
know when to do what.
Now, you touched on the restorative justice. A lot of audience don't understand what restorative justice is. Could you go into that a little bit?
So, what restorative justice is, right, is restoring the harm that was committed within the community. The community could be any aspect. From the facility standpoint, it will be the unit, it will be the individuals that were harmed. Um, that's when you all will come, circle up. You'll have a talking piece. Sometimes you may not, and you'll discuss what happened from everybody's perspective. Each party that's involved, you will get their perspective. You will talk it out. The thing of it is you will talk it out. One individual talks, the other individuals listen. The participating parties, they had their they have their input, but at the end of the day, it's resolving the conflict between the individuals. So,
Hmm.
um, with that being said, um, the restoring part is getting the community back to where it needs to be, if that makes sense. That's just a light version of it, a summary of it.
Indeed. I know that we when we're dealing with restorative justice, we're trying to heal both parties, the
Correct.
aggressor and the victim, all at the same time, and understand the roles that each party play in the
That is correct.
situation, and working on the healing process. Now, that's one way of that I've always said, that you step up when it comes down to the community of New Beginning, DYRS, and it's another way that you step out in the community, because that's part of you know what I'm saying, the community involvement as well, restorative justice. But there's also a program that I know that you lead, which is called the Covenant of Peace. Could you
Correct.
speak on when that was started and things that we bring for the table for the youth with that?
So the Covenant of Peace started maybe, if this is 2022,
Mm-hmm.
it may have started about 2018, and it was brought to us from um, the credible messages that joined our team in about 2018. So that's where we discussed the 7 pillars. We have guest speakers that come in, and it initially started as a weekend overnight, um, kind of like slumber party, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the
Right.
youth and the credible messages to come in um, and engage in the 7 pillars. I don't have all of them in front of me, but my word is my bond. Um, my life matters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's the one I had you talking about, Mayor?
Word is bond. Word is my
Word is
bond.
bond. My life matters,
Mm-hmm.
um, and a few others, right? Um, we will have individuals speak on those particular topics. um, Youth would then, they would be engaged in various activities, team building, sportsmanship, competition. Of course, we make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's the learning environment. It's the restorative piece. It's them becoming one with each other, fellowshipping, because fellowshipping is important. Realizing that we don't need to beef or have conflict with each other when you my brother. And then at the end of the session, at the end of the weekend, they all sign. They all signed this particular time. They all signed a basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that signing that basketball, you gave your word. You gave your bond that uh, you would maintain the 7 pillars um, throughout your duration. So it was kind of like a creed that everybody took part in signing, um, and we very much took it to heart.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, we actually had 3 in 2018. We had 2 in 2019. Of course, 2020 it was COVID. 2021 is COVID, and we having another one. Um, we're having our first one in August of 2022. So most definitely, we would like you all to be a part. Come in, show us, give us your knowledge, break bread with us, give the youth something that they've never experienced before.
Well, I know I'm gonna be there one way or the
Yes,
other.
sir. Yes, sir. You already locked in.
Yeah, I've already like that. But also too want to realize like the racial disparity that we see in a lot of the juvenile facilities across the country, not just in the DMV area,
Right.
um, is prevalent when it comes down to our youth.
Yeah,
And we have to wrap our arms around our youth and help them, you know what I'm saying, get out of their own way.
for
That
sure.
is the major thing that we do is help them get out their own way. And like I had a conversation with a youth and he was always saying like we never see the I don't want to say where the white boys in here, we just see ourselves.
So, so speaking on that, man, in 17 years, right? In
Uh-huh.
17 years, with the Department of Youth and Rehabilitation Services, or at Oak Hill or at New Beginning, I've seen
Hmm.
two,
And
and they were in and out just like that, maybe an hour.
and that's something that they were touching on, but our thing was the recidivism when it comes down to us.
Correct.
We work a program where we group you up, we discuss certain things, we give you job training skills. We give you, you know what I'm saying, coping skills. When you leave the facility, you have all these tools in your tool belt. Yet when you get home, you don't utilize it.
But did
You
you hear
know?
what you just said?
Yeah.
What did you just say? When you what? When you what?
When you're there, you know what I mean, you got all these tools.
No. The other part.
Oh, you don't utilize
You don't utilize it where?
at home.
There you go. So
Yes,
you
That's it.
return into an environment that
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been fixed.
Right.
You've been fixed, but your environment haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not strong enough, what happens?
You
You
fall
go
Yeah,
back
right
to
there.
what you know.
Go right back
Yeah,
there.
you fall victim
You
to
go
it.
straight back. Forget what you learned, because that ain't important. What's
Uh-huh.
important is me putting money back on this table. Yeah, I
Right.
heard Mr. Mays when he said landscaping is a good opportunity. But so is me going out here and knocking that lady over her head for $80 when I could have made $800 working,
Mm-hmm.
doing landscape. But I want that quick. I want that instant money.
Yes.
I
Yes.
take 80 over 800 because 800 I got to work for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm returning back to an environment that hasn't been fixed. I may
Mm-hmm.
have been fixed. I may have learned tools. I may have learned a tree, but my environment hasn't been fixed. I'm going right back to what I know.
Now,
And
one
that's the
thing
sad part.
I would say like the agency itself tries to help the family, not just the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
There's times where the agency uh, helps try to relocate out of certain situations or whatever the case may be, or even help in financial situations. Um,
That's correct.
and things still happen where individuals don't utilize their tool belt. Do you feel like it's more of a mentality than the environment?
For the most part, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here I am. Here I am. I have an agency, right? Who's
Mm-hmm.
going to relocate me to another environment or another area or another sector of the town or the city, right? Where I don't know anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much harm I didn't put my family in, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't gave me vouchers. They didn't gave me food stamps. They didn't furnish my whole new dwelling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. I don't want it because that's not what I'm familiar with. A lot of our youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do stuff out of comfortability because I'm comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to let it go because I never had anything before. And even if you give it to me, I wouldn't know how to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know
Right.
how to appreciate it. You could give what I'm noticing, you can give a you 190 $190 pair of jewelry. That's not good enough because
Mm-hmm.
I see what I see on TV and I want the Balenciagas. I want the stuff I can't even spell.
Right.
Right? They're not appreciative of anything because they haven't been taught appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really had to work for anything because their mentality is I don't need to work for it because I'm gonna just go out and take it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing y'all can do about it.
Right.
I'm gonna take it, and if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna kill you over it because that's what I see on TV.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
what are your first steps in your program? What's the first step in your program as far as mentorship and mental health?
So each youth is assigned a behavioral health counselor.
Mm-hmm.
Each youth is also assigned a YDR, which we call a youth development representative. Those are the advocates on the unit, right? Each group is also assigned a credible messenger that works with each unit, day in and day out. Each individual kid or youth, parent or family gets an outside credible messenger as well that works with the family through the duration of the youth being incarcerated and after they get incarcerated.
Okay.
And some of the staff that's not working with the youth, they also serve as mentors to different youth. So we have a Kings and Queens Club, whereas we have individuals who been through some things in life. They come through, they share their experiences, things of that nature. We fellowship, talk, things of that nature too. So everybody plays a part in making these kids a success story. If
Yeah.
they want to. You know what
Right.
I mean? Because some people don't want to do it.
Does it also involve peer within themselves that they do their own peer counseling amongst their fellow brothers?
Yeah, so they have peer pull-ups. We
Okay.
have certain youth that's on the unit that serves as leaders or people that the other youth look up to, and it's not on no bullying type stuff, but it's
Right.
on some real live like, look, we need to get ourselves together, or we need to do X, Y, and Z, or we need to band together if we want X, Y, and Z to happen. We do have uh, a youth council board where each unit picks a particular youth to go and speak on their behalf to administration or leadership. So we do give them a voice to let us know what's going on, what's working, what's not working, what we need to improve in, how we can better suit you all, suit your needs.
Um, First and foremost, like from the time they wake up and they do their hygiene before they go off to school, they circled up, and you check
Yeah,
in with them to see how their day, how
yeah.
day is going to be,
That's
and
the expectation circle.
that's an expectation circle,
Correct.
and we go from 0 to 10 to see where they are, and
Correct.
if they're somewhere around 6, 5, and below, you make them explain a little. You ask them to explain a little bit why they feel certain ways and things of
Right.
that nature, so you can help boost them up. And build them up. See, the thing is, inspiration and inspiring the youth to become better than they were yesterday,
Correct.
and
That's the
that's
that's the overall goal.
that's the overall goal, is to make sure that every day they set a goal to be better than they were yesterday,
Right.
understanding that they made a mistake at this point, but they're able to correct it and move forward and still have a great day, not to get stuck in a situation where, I messed up right here, so I won't be able to get this, that, and the third. But you're always able to correct your error and move forward, long as you're
Right.
able to take responsibility for, or an accountability for what happened, an acknowledgement of what happened going forward. Um, See, I told you I'd be listening.
I'm glad. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing
Well, I salute the two of y'all, man, because it's not an easy task. I salute
Hey,
man.
you.
It's not, man. Day in and day out, I have a colleague, man. His whole thing was, I want everybody to leave out the same way they came in. But
mhm.
where we work at, it varies from day to day. You can have a great day, a great week, a great month, but it can take one situation
Yeah.
that can turn everything into you like, oh my God, why do I work here?
Yeah, definitely.
Question. I got a question that relates with the both of y'all, so y'all doing the similarities. Now, I would ask the hardest points in what you do is it dealing with young black males who have divided themselves up because of colors,
Well, like gang bang.
inside the prison system, or the youth system, or the colors where you gang banging if you're a blood or a crip or so and so. Does I got this? I got to say, I know it has to be frustrating, because when you look at it, ain't but one color really going at it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. But the funny part of it is like in DC they don't really have gangs, right? They have neighborhoods.
Okay.
What I tell them is, you don't own their piece of property in DC, so how can
Mhm.
you claim any neighborhood, right?
Right.
Um, Washington D.C. owns all the land in D.C. You claiming the neighborhood that don't have no love for you.
Mhm.
right? Because if it did, it wouldn't put your mother in drive-by shooting. It wouldn't put your grandmother out of her apartment for eviction on an eviction notice because of you, because you're not on a lease,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of times our youth are fighting a battle that they know nothing of just because they're from a different neighborhood. They're fighting a battle from the 70s and 80s that's been going on for years, but you just know that you live in Congress Heights and you fighting Berry Farms, but you don't know why. Or you fighting Parkside and you don't know why. But this is from when your grandmother had a situation with Sally back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you live in a neighborhood that's having an altercation with somebody else. Like,
Yeah.
but you don't own their piece of property over there. You know? That's the funny part, but they don't look at it as it's black on black. They don't care. All they doing is going off of what they know.
Right.
I didn't do the research on it. I just know that we beefing because my cousin or my dad told me we was beefing with them. And every time I see somebody from that neighborhood, I gotta go at them. The funniest thing that I seen in while working with DYS is one cousin was from one neighborhood and one cousin was from another neighborhood, and those two neighborhoods was beefing. What do you think happened? I wish you would too. I wish either one of y'all to fight each other. Y'all blood.
Right.
But because they want to claim neighborhoods and they don't want to be called a sucker or they don't want to be looked at differently, I gotta fight. I wish you two would. I wish you two would. I'm gonna put y'all in the room together and I wish you two would fight. Matter of fact, I double dog dare you to fight. And I took it back to double dog dare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. You gotta look at life differently, man. Look at the world differently. How they trying to put us against each other when we need to be building with each other, man.
Absolutely.
You know, Brother Wade, is even like speaking on that, like experiencing working in facilities in New York and then being in DC, like you said, it's different because in DC they have their neighborhoods, the Mayfairs, the Kenilworths, you know what I'm saying?
And they're street apart from each other.
And they're street apart from each other, yeah. And Congress Heights and stuff like that, and they're beefing. You got the 37th Street boys, and you got this, and you got the Simple City kids, or what have you. But then when they all get in the facility together, they sitting there eating snacks like little kids. You would think this was Saturday morning cartoon time because they sitting there, they eating potato chips, cookies, playing video games, and watching TV.
Right.
You wouldn't think that they did something heinous to get there.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And that they actually is beefing with each other outside, and next thing you know, they're the best of friends sitting next to each other. So what it is actually taking away from your environment. They become a product of what they see more so than anything else.
Correct.
If the love is there, then they're gonna be the product of the love. If the hate is there, they're gonna be the product of the hate. So it just depends on what you giving them. You know what I'm saying? More than anything else.
That's correct. I definitely have to agree with you there. I definitely have to agree with you there.
Because I like I said, we see it all the time. And what gets me the most is when they get ready to go home, that's when they start acting up because they don't want to leave. They want to get that step back. They want to get that 30-day hit, that 40-day hit, or whatever the case may be, so they can stay in a safe environment. They can get their education. They can get those 3 meals a day. They can get that snack. They can get that love. They having to actually go to and have questions and get their questions answered. It's a difference when they go home, and people don't realize the neglect and not even realize that they're being neglected. And you have kids who what they call living in the trenches, you know, used to sleeping on the floor, or they don't have. There's so many people in the apartment, they sleeping on the floor in front of the couches or things of that nature. So when they get to the facility, they're comfortable. You know what I mean? They're comfortable, and then soon and I work overnight. So when I come in, I'm expecting a lot of them to be asleep. So the first thing, as soon as I open up the door, I hear my name. Where you been? Da, 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 da. You've been going 2 weeks. You've been going this, that, and the third. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, go ahead, man, go to sleep, lay down. Then they want to talk to you all night long because that you have that rapport. You know what I mean? That relationship. When kids see you and they know that it's love and they know it's sincere. See, a lot of times people think that it's more so the street credibility. You know what I'm saying? Me not being from DC, they don't know anything about my past. And you know what I mean? So it's not about that, it's about the sincerity. You know what I mean? And being honest.
You know what that means though? You know what that means? That means that and I had to learn this, right? That means you're credible. Right?
Right.
You're credible meaning that you know what you're talking about. You lived through that experience. You know how to relate. Right? So they feel comfortable coming to you and saying, hey, Mr. Mays, X, Y, and Z, let me pick your brain on this. Right? Well, we have to remember when we in a facility is this. They're looking at us. They're evaluating everything that we do. They paying attention to when Mr. Mays isn't here, when Mr. Mays is here. What's Mr. Mays' temperament? They have 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days to watch us. We think we watching them. They watching us the whole time. They can tell when something's bothering us. They can tell when we happy. They can tell if your family life ain't that. If your family life ain't right, they can tell you because they
They can
watch it. They
definitely
watch
tell.
it every move, and then they're coming to you because they're asking because they believe that you're a credible person because you talking you understand and you listening to what they have to say, and you provide
And
valuable feedback to them.
and the funny thing about it is they love it when you get drafted. The first thing they holler out is you got drafted. So they sit up
Yeah,
under you for another 8 hours.
for another 8 hours. For another
They
eight
sit,
hours. This
Here's
is
here's
an
my question.
honest to God story, right? Just this past Saturday, I worked. I was in the facility I worked. So I didn't do my normal rounds like I did. I worked in control because I wanted to monitor everything that was going on. You've heard my voice on the intercom. He acted up so he could come up to medical to come see me. He walked the back hall. He was like, "Listen, I wanted to come up here to speak to you. I heard you. I wanted to come up. Now I'm good. I could go back to my room and go to sleep." I said, "Man, I love you. Have a good day. Have a good evening, and I see you later." To
right.
me, that was I was like, "Man, that's real right there."
Yeah. You
Let me
know,
let me ask this. Let me ask this to both of y'all again. I know we're getting short on time. Um, you were saying while they're in there, they feel safe, but yet when they're getting ready to go and be released, it's like they're going immediately to think back. Now, what do I do? Because I gotta go out here and go back into the reality of what I know.
Right.
Is there a program that's outside of what you're doing, that's connected with what you do on the inside, that it just in case if they need to get that entouchment or they need that encouragement, can they go there? If
Yes.
that's what I'm asking.
Yes. So we do provide wraparound services for them once they leave, and they also, like I told you, they also assign a credible messenger when they leave as well too. So they have a credible messenger while they're inside the facility. Then they have a credible messenger outside of the facility that's at their call 24 hours, 7 days a week. Then they can
Okay.
also call, since they forged relationships with some of the staff in there, they can always call them and ask them for support. You know what I mean? And they also have a case manager that they deal with in the community as well that can also offer assistance.
All right. That's a
you
great
know,
message. That's a great message.
yeah, definitely. They and then also too the job program doesn't stop just at our facility. It's a part of the wraparound program at MLK and at
And at
450.
450. Yeah.
So they're definitely getting what they need. They get the education still. They still get pushed in the right direction. It's just utilizing what you have. you know what I'm saying, yourself, because we can give you the world, but if you do not utilize it, there's nothing too much that we can do about that going forward, because you have all the opportunities in the world to be great, but it's you
Yeah.
being in your own way, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
that's my
is the
favorite
problem.
saying. I when I was on the unit, I always called it the level 6 crash, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
y'all get the level 6, y'all crash into that brick wall. One,
Yeah.
either you scared, or two, you scared, right?
Hmm.
So let me help you with this. It's
Right.
okay to be scared, but we have to build on that, right? I'm
Hmm.
giving you the tools and the skills to succeed, and now
Hmm.
it's up to you to utilize them, right? I can lead you to the, I can lead a horse to water, like my
Hmm.
grandfather used to say, but I can't make you drink it. You gonna have to do the work, or put the work in to
Right.
be a success.
Right. Well, bro, waiters, I know we coming short because like our show is only an hour, but if you can give us 2 minutes at the end of the show and we discuss something, and then also to try to get you a copy of the show for your own personal,
Oh
that'd be
man,
great.
absolutely, man.
But
You got that.
I want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of times we joke and bump head a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's
But
all in love, though.
it's all in love, but I
It's
wanted to tell you,
all
you
in
know what
love.
I'm saying, publicly, I respect what you do, and I appreciate the leadership and the directives that you give, not only to the youth, but to the staff as well, because we look to that. A lot of times the morale be low, and you come in and you build us up, and we appreciate that going forward.
But
So I
listen
want
though,
to,
isn't God good? Because I come in right on time. When y'all don't even know I'm coming, I'm there and I boost that joint right up, man. I boost it up.
yeah,
Oh,
man, because I tell you, it's like I said, it's always love. And one thing I say, like with me, you push me. You be like, yo, I ain't trying to hear none of that. You know
none
what I'm
of
saying?
it.
You know you got this, that, and the third. Woo, woo, woo. Come on, man. Like, and a lot of times, like my morale do be low, but it it's getting out of my own way so I can help them get out their own way. And that's sometimes we need each other to do that. You know what I mean? For the most part. And I want to say thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And I respect you. You know what I'm saying? I respect the work that you're doing. And a lot of times we don't even talk about the peer coaching that you do. We
Yeah,
didn't even touch the peer coaching that you do. And that right there is real important because that help followers become leaders. You
absolutely.
know what I mean?
And
And
the, and, the, and
appreciate it.
the thing of it is, and I didn't mean to cut you off though, mate. But it's not me, man. It's God, man. I'm doing what God told me to do. Pour into people. You know, I'm the type of individual, man. I'm gonna pour into your cup.
Hmm.
If I see the potential in you, and I know the potential's there in you, I'm gonna pour into your cup. I'm gonna give you everything that I got that
Right.
you can add to your tool belt, man, to make
Hmm.
you a better worker, to make you a better person, to make you a better father, right? So
Hmm.
I look at it. I look at it from this perspective, man. We all we got.
Yeah.
What
That's
type
right.
of person? What type of person would I be if I didn't pull somebody up with me? I'm
Right.
not selfish. I'm
Hmm.
gonna bring the team with me. Whoever
Right.
with it, let's go. I'm bringing the team with me
Right.
because it's bigger than me.
Hmm.
I can't do this work by myself, so I gotta bring the team with me. We coming like an army.
Right. Right.
But I definitely love and respect it, man. I love the movement. I love what you're doing. I give you a hard time, but I see where your passion, where your heart, where your grind is, and
Hmm.
I'm loving it, man. So I definitely give
Man,
you all the support and love
sometimes we
love
need
the
that.
move. Yeah,
We
for
need
sure.
that. We need that. And you know what I mean? I appreciate I be walking away mad, like, yo, waiters just turned his back on me, man. Didn't even say nothing to me, man. You know what I mean? You
That's
know what
tough
I mean?
love, but I'm gonna come. I'm circling back. Be like, come
Yeah.
on, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
so you know what I mean, but it's always love, like I said, and I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, everything that you have given me since I've been at DYRS, because those are the intangible things. People think about when somebody give you something that is an actual physical gift, but those intangible things, those things that you can't touch on, is more important than those things that you can. because
Right.
those are the things you actually carry with yourself. And those are the things that you give to every individual that you come amongst. So, like I say, I want to tell you, I appreciate you. I respect everything you do. You're a hard worker, and you push us for greatness, and you push the
Absolutely.
kids for greatness, man. So, listen, I salute you at all times. You
Oh,
know.
man. I appreciate
Mm.
it. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you for just
And
being that letting me be a part of this here, man. I was rushing. I was rushing out of the facility when you called me. I was rushing. I was like, oh, let me get out of here. And somebody kept stopping me. I said, no, devil. I'm out of here. I had to change my shirt. My shirt got sweaty. I was like, I gotta go. I'm out. You're not gonna stop me, Jack.
I, I appreciate it. Yeah, because we're working with the babies. It's hard to get out of there.
Yeah,
But
and then the phone kept trying to. I was like, look, man, I got to go. I got to go. But man, listen, the devil's always busy, especially when you're doing the work of God. You know what I'm saying? So
actually, fact.
always put him, Allah first.
Mhm.
Man, the world is our oyster, man.
That's it, man. Big bro, as you know, it's your time, baby.
Absolutely. Before we go, I want to address this person here. Ethan 51744 says, I personally think they should get more support and more community activities. Absolutely, absolutely. We want to thank you for your comments and for all that you heard on this illustrious panel. I want to thank Mr. Waiters for coming aboard. Salute you, my brother, for what you
Yes,
do,
sir.
and keep doing, keep shining, and don't let nobody hold you down and hold you back from reaching your fullest potential, because it's
Oh,
always there. So once again, yes, you have a home right here on the Real to Real 360. We would love to have you back at any time you feel necessary. You got to. And
let
if
me
you
know.
any more community activist things that you got going on that you want to bring out and let the world know, you can do it right here.
So, so it's a. I got a few things lined up.
Okay.
Next time I come on, I definitely let you know. I like putting things into the atmosphere, man. I'm definitely gonna have a mentoring program coming to you soon.
All right.
Definitely a nonprofit coming to you soon. Definitely some community activities that I partnered up with my business partner with. So definitely had some activities. I think Ethan said something about community support and community
Mm-hmm.
activity.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely they coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Mark my
All right.
word on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get ready to pull y'all in the back room real quick, so y'all stand by.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, woman, and child, on behalf of my co-host Joshua Allah, this is K Wise, aka Kato the Black Superhero, thanking you again for tuning in to another episode of the Real to Real 360 show. And remember, a child in the hands of a wise man will become a great person. So, in that meaning, love your children, protect your children, give them the respect so they learn to respect you as well as others. And on that note, we out of here. Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation of Gods and Earths, to all the human families of the planet Earth. The Real to Real 360 is ended.